In today's practice, we are going to be focusing on the root chakra, which is called the Muladhara chakra. And it is the first of the 7 chakras that are energy centers that run up the spine of your body. So we have the root, and then we have the sacral, then we have the solar plexus, which is your stomach, heart, throat, third eye, and then crown. So the focus of this chakra has to do with rooting down and grounding, being stable, being connected in and rooted. And so you can imagine how important this is if, for example, you face a confrontation in your life, if you have a really important presentation to do, or if you have an important, maybe if you're an athlete and you have an important game, that is where you set it down and you connect into that place of stability, of that place of being rooted and grounded and knowing that you are fully supported. So that is what we're going to be focusing on in today's class. Welcome. We are actually going to be starting standing, and so you can go ahead and start your Spotify playlist if you're coming along with me. We're going to start with our feet a little bit further apart than we normally do. And so, again, finding your posture here, feet are more shoulder width apart. And then just bring your hands down, relaxing your shoulders, and coming into either a soft gaze or you might close your eyes. We want to root down through the bottoms of the feet. Can you energetically feel the ground underneath you? Now take some deep breaths. We're going to let the arms come up on the inhalation. Hands come together up above, and then exhale right down through center. Nice and slow. You could constrict the back of your throat as you exhale out through the nose. One more time. We're going to step our feet back into mountain pose. And I want you to pick up your toes and then feel down through the pinky toe side of your foot and also the big toe side of your foot and the heel. And then placing your toes back on the ground, spreading them nice and wide. Okay, from here, we're going to do a little spinal warm-up by bringing one arm up the side of your body and then switching to the other side. Good inhale up, exhale over. Notice how your head and neck feel about this movement. Keeping your shoulders and your hips all in alignment. One more time each side. Bringing it back to center, we're going to warm up our feet a little bit so you can lift the heel up on one foot and then shift to the other. So finding your balance, if you like, you can use your middle finger down. Now bringing it back to center. Can you lift your arms up over your head And then come up onto your tippy toes. Find something to gaze at, rooting down through the balls of your feet. Pull your low belly in, tuck your tail, and then bring your hands together and exhale back down. We're going to turn, if you need to, turning sideways on your mat so that you can come into a low squat. We want to make sure that our tailbone stays rooted down here. We're going to bring elbows in, coming down. Notice my toes are pointed out. So it's an inhale, and then it's an exhale. Goddess pose here. You could really feel like you're moving through something, like the earth coming up, sinking down. Imagining how plants come up through the ground this time of year, reaching up towards the sky. One more time. We're going to toe heel our feet back underneath. And we're going to find a little spinal twist, nice and soft. You can look behind. Let your arms pat the body, front of the hand, back of the hand. Move your head, look behind. Bringing it back to center. We're going to shift our body weight over to one leg, and we are going to be doing a floating tree. So you engage your low belly, you stack your hips right over your knee, right over your ankle, and then bring the leg up, and then maybe the hands. Floating tree. And then bring it back down, shifting the other way, engaging, rooting down, turning that foot out, lifting it. Hands up. Breathe. Let's bring it back down. Take one more deep breath in. And exhale back down through center. We're going to find our way onto all fours. You could take your knees wide. You could bring your forehead down, planting the third eye onto the ground. Breathe. Coming up onto all fours. We're going to do our pose of the day, which is a heart melting pose, which is Anahatasana. Anahatasana, this is also called puppy pose. Notice hips stay right over your knees. Anahatasana, heart melting or puppy pose. Take a deep breath in, bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. We're going to curl our toes, coming into our downward dog. And then let's just walk the dog. So one heel comes down, one knee bends, other side. So shifting your body weight side to side. Breathing. Notice what it feels like to pick up the heel and then place it back down. Okay, we're going to find our way back and onto all fours. Turning your feet, we're going to sit back onto our heels. You could always come up and into a kneeling if this feels too intense for you. Hands behind the shoulders, engage your belly, so keep your tail tucked, and then open the heart up to the sky. Breathe. Okay, take a deep breath in, bring it back to center. We're going to bring our hands back underneath our shoulders, and we're going to step the right foot between the hands. So finding your low lunge here, fingertips on the mat, leaning forward. Let's bring ourselves up. And just notice where in your body that you're rooted down into the ground. Option to bring your hands up over your head and look up towards the sky, finding your gaze point. Take a deep breath in. Let's bring it back down. We're going to shift to the other side. Front leg comes back, back leg comes front. You could always hold it here. Notice those parts of your body that are in contact with the ground. You could find your way up. Gaze out straight in front of you, or bring your arms up over your head. Notice that my knee is not extending beyond my ankle. Breathe. Take a deep breath in. Let's bring it back down. Let's step that foot back. We're going to come onto the balls of our feet. So tuck your toes under and then find the balls of your feet on the ground and feel how heavy your low back, your hips are. And then just let your chin relax into your chest. Little fetal position. This is kind of a version of child's pose. Okay, we're going to press into the ground to rise. So starting with your feet, press to rise. Press up through the ground. We're going to step it to the front of the mat. We're going to come into our mountain pose and take a deep breath in. And exhale back down. 2 more times. Last one. Finding our balance on one leg. We're going to lift up one leg. You could bring it in towards your chest. Standing up nice and tall, rooting down through the bottom of that supporting foot. And then we're going to think about stepping this foot straight back. And we're going to come into Warrior One. So Warrior One can be problematic for your back foot. If it doesn't feel good, you could always come into high lunge, or you could try putting that heel down. My heel lines up with my heel here. Maybe you need to step that back foot to the side a little bit so that you can square your hips. Now let's bring the hands back behind the body and look up. Pull your low belly in. Feel your feet on the earth. Take a deep breath in. Let's come back up. We're going to come into pyramid. So stepping that back foot in a little bit. Pyramid, our front leg is straight. You can think about coming over with a straight, long spine. Option to just stay halfway. Option to bring your hands down to your thigh or your shin or your ankle, or blocks are very helpful here, or just down to the floor. So you want to make sure that you're not hyperextending that front knee. So keep a little bend in that front knee. And then notice your pelvis, base of the spine. Can you feel where your hamstrings, the back of your upper thigh is connected to your pelvis? Now from here, we're going to bend our front leg. You could just step it forward, or you could bring your hands out in front of you on blocks or fingertips and lift that back leg up, and then square your thighs. So bring that back leg in and then internally rotate your upper thigh bone. So you feel like you're here rooted into that front foot. Hips are squared, and then we're going to bring that foot to meet the one that's already there. And we're going to feel our bones and our weight and gravity help release us towards the floor. Taking a deep breath in, let's find our way back into standing. We're going to shift our body weight, lifting the knee. Find your gaze point. We're going to step this foot back, lining up the heel and the heel, coming into warrior one. Can always lift that back heel and pivot. You could keep your hands here, or you could interlace, so maybe other index finger on top. Squeeze the shoulders and lift the chest. Breathe. Feel into your bones. Take a deep breath in. Let's release the hands. Stepping that back foot forward. Coming into pyramid, extending your spine long. Thinking about the pyramids, stone, stability. Find where your hands want to land. Feel where your hamstrings are connecting to your pelvis. Sense the base of your spine. Take a deep breath in. You could always just step it forward, or if you want to come here with your hand down, lifting the foot up. Take a deep breath in. Let's bring that foot to meet the one that's already there. And you could let yourself forward fold, relaxing, feeling gravity, your weight, your mass. Bending your knees, tucking your tail. Let's roll up, pressing down into the ground as we rise. Take a couple of deep breaths here. You could bring your arms up and exhale back down. 2 more. Notice the moment the hands touch. We're going to turn and step wide onto our mat, and we're going to come over and into a forward fold. So I want you to press out through the edges of your feet. Your feet are parallel, and then hinging at the hip, lengthen the spine over. You could use your blocks here, you could use a chair, and once you get down here, maybe your body would allow you to walk a little bit wider. This is standing straddle splits. Maybe bringing your elbows down, pressing into the edges of your feet. Breathe here. It's always a good idea to take at least 5 deep breaths when we're in a stretch like this. And then slowly walking those feet back in, coming back up. Hinging at the hips. And we're going to find our way down and into seated pose, cobbler's position. Soles of the feet are together, sitting up nice and straight, rooting down through the low spine into the earth. If you need to, you can always grab onto your ankles, your shins. And then feel that connection between the top of your head and the base of your spine. So that's where the chakra system is energetically. And we want energy to move up from the roots, in this case, up through the belly, the heart, the throat, the third eye, and out the top of the head. And then back in. So connecting earth and sky. Now from here, if you like, you could take it into a little gentle sway. So when you think about trees, if the tree is too rigid and its roots are too shallow, it just topples over during a windstorm. But if you have deep roots and you have the ability to be subtle or supple and allow your spine to move, allow your trunk to move, then you can absorb that energy and stay upright. Okay, so from here, we're going to take one leg back and we're going to set up for deer pose. And so just bringing your one leg in front, the other leg behind, sitting up as straight as you can, reaching from the root up. We're going to forward fold and into a little stretch here, front of the thigh. You can always place your hands, stay upright, or come over. And this is a yin pose. We really want to allow ourselves to rest into the ground, rest into the earth, wherever we are. Letting ourselves get nice and heavy. Notice where you feel your body in contact with the earth. Coming up with a straight back, hinging at the hips. We're going to take the hand of the front leg, same side, down, rooting down, and then we're going to come up and balance on this shin bone. So lifting, squeezing, opening up the front of the body. Take a deep breath in. Let's bring it back down. Switching to the other side. Leg comes center. Lining up your shin with the front of your mat, sitting up nice and tall. And then forward folding over. Allowing yourself to soften. Taking a deep breath in, let's come back up. Planting your hand down by the side of your body, lifting up, reaching, rooting up towards the sky. Take a deep breath in. Let's bring it back down. We're going to lower ourselves down onto our back body. Knees can come into the chest. You could let your body sway side to side. Okay, we're going to take both feet up into the sky. I want you to press the ball of your feet and the heels up to the sky. Now, can you root down through the base of your spine, relaxing into the ground? We're going to take one leg down, keeping that other leg up, and we're going to press the low back and into the ground. You could grab, reaching your hand around your thigh. Low back pressed into the ground. Now, bring your hands down beside your body. We're going to slowly lower this leg, keeping the foot flexed until it almost touches the ground, and then bring it back up. For more intensity, you can straighten the opposite leg. We just want to make sure that we keep the low back on the ground. This is a good way to strengthen your core, strengthen your hip flexors. Breathe. Okay, the next time it comes down, we're going to let it rest. We're going to shift our body weight over to that side of the body. Foot comes to the top of the thigh, and we're going to spinal twist to the side, bringing and reaching the opposite arm out and looking in the opposite direction. Take some deep breaths. When you're ready, let's bring it back to center and do the other side. Both legs up. Lower the other leg. Press the low back down. You could bring your hands down, pressing. Oh, we could reach around first. Let's do this one first. Feel into your leg. Reaching up towards the sky and down into the ground. Okay, hands down beside your body, slowly lower. Don't touch. Really feel the weight, gravity, earthy, the pull of the earth. Breathe nice and evenly. Two more. Last one. Let's bring that leg down to the ground, shifting your body weight over to that side. Foot comes over and spinal twist the other way. See if you can root your shoulder down. Take a deep breath in. Let's bring it back to center. We're going to roll like a ball. You can grab the backs of your thighs, come up a couple times. Finding your way up and over and onto your belly. Crawling back. You can bring your hands underneath. And you could just wag the tail side to side, shifting your pelvis. And just notice that base of the spine. Let's bring our elbows underneath our shoulders. We're going to pull ourselves forward by dragging our forearms and our hands back, and then lift the chest. Tops of the feet to the mat, pressing the pelvis down. Notice where you feel rooted, connected to the ground. Bring it down. We're going to do a little balancing pose here. Hands underneath the shoulder. We're going to hover the hands as we lift the upper body and then the feet and the legs. So take a deep breath in. Feeling the connection between your belly, your pelvis, your spine, and the earth. Notice the minor discomfort and breathe through it. Stay steady, stay rooted, stay grounded. One more deep breath in. Lift a little bit higher. Exhale. Let's press up and back and into child's pose. You could have your knees together, forehead to the ground. Hands back behind the body. Take some deep breaths. And you can slowly rise, hinging at your hips. Okay, we're going to come over and into final relaxation. You could pick up your shoulders and set them back down. You could pick up your head and set it back down. Placing your skeleton on the earth. Doing a body scan and noticing what it is that you feel. Bringing your awareness to the parts of the body that are in contact with the ground. And you could visualize what is underneath. You could imagine laying outside. On the earth. And you could let your body soften. Noticing temperature and pressure. And maybe visualizing and bringing your awareness to what is beneath. Can you energetically feel what is underneath your body? Anchoring you, it's your foundation. travel down through the soil, the roots of the plants, through the layers, sensing perhaps the bedrock. And with this solid foundation, this ability to be rooted and grounded, this allows you, gives you the potential to be creative, to communicate, to feel compassion, to love, to have visions, to have purpose. You might think of things that root you, that ground you. What in your life is your foundation? And when you're ready, if you want to, you could move towards the top of your body, being in contact with the sky, staying rooted. Allow yourself to become buoyant, less dense. Connected to the sky and freedom. Your potential and the possibilities, change. And balancing between earth and sky, feel both of those dynamics. The horizon line. could stay here or feel into those roots holding you down. And we're going to visualize pulling them up, lifting like the wrists, rolling over, lifting your legs, staying connected, pulling on those roots, coming over and into fetal position. Taking some deep breaths here. And then coming up, using your hand. Coming into seated position. Take a moment and notice how it is that you feel. You could bring your hands together, give yourself a bow. Namaste.